Did you know that you can rest more than 3 minutes between sets and still make progress? In fact, it would even be more effective than if you rest 1 or 2 minutes between sets. In this video, I'm gonna cover up how to rest, how to basically choose the amount of rest that you need between sets in order to create the most stimulus in training and get better progress. If you want to jump straight to the end, I put a link in the description of a table that explains and summarizes how much rest you need to take between sets for certain goals like max strength, max reps, explosive strength, and so on. So there's a link in the description. If you really want to know about how much rest you need to take between sets in order to progress faster, then watch this video. So the first thing I'm going to cover up is, why do you actually rest between sets? Why don't you just do one set and that's it? Why don't you just do one set, rest 1 hour, and then do another set and that's it? Why do you rest 1, 2, or 3 minutes between sets? This is something that many people are not aware of, usually beginners, and they basically rest just to pass the time between the sets. They say, okay, I need to do 3 sets, so I'd rest about 1 or 2 minutes or just as I need. But this is so wrong. You need to rest more between sets if you want to have max strength or if you want to develop your max total reps. So there is a rule of thumb that everyone should know, and it's that the harder the set is, the harder the intensity is. The more that you struggle, the more that you get closer to failure, the more rest you need between sets in order to get the other set, the next set, more stimulating and having an easier time to complete it. It means that if you go for near max rep sets or if you go for heavy weight to failure, it means that you wanna rest longer time between the sets, so the next set would be as stimulating as the first. It won't ever be as stimulating, but you wanna increase the stimulation. How does rest actually get your next set more stimulating? It's because that the fresher your muscles are, the more stimulation the body gets from the set itself. The first set is always the most stimulating. The second one would be always more stimulating than the third, and so on. So if you rest more time, basically if you rest 1 day between sets, you would basically have 2 sets, but both of them would be first sets, right? Because your body is completely fresh. But in training it's a bit different, so you just wanna prolong the rest time if you have very intense sets, so that the next set would be more stimulating than it used to be. I see so many beginners doing max rep sets with 1 or 2, or the smartest of them doing 3 minutes of rest per set, and it's still not enough. If you go for max rep sets, you should aim at least for 5, 6, even 7 minutes of rest, and even more if you need to. If you go for very heavy weight, you also need at least 5 minutes of rest. So now that you know the rest time that you need to rest between sets because of the intensity, you need to know what is your specific goal in training. Is it to develop max strength? Is it to develop your endurance and progress in your max reps? You might train with high intensity when you should train with low intensity on some days to acquire more volume, for example, to have more reps in the tank to progress in max reps. Or maybe you train with lower intensity, but you need to train with higher intensity in order to develop your max strength. So you need to know both of these things. What is your specific training goal and what is your intensity in the sets, so that you know basically how to build a training program, right? Basically a training program is something that gets you to your training goal, knowing how to craft it so you can train smarter and not harder, so you can progress faster and knowing what you're doing in training itself. So as I said earlier in the video, there is a link in the description for a rest timetable for each specific training goal. So look at it, it's free, you don't need to put any email in. If you have any questions, comment down below, I will answer anything. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more content like this, and have a great day.